Hey, what's up, everybody? Ralph here. So today's topic, I came across this article on CNBC, right? Titled, Despite Higher Wages, Inflation Gave the Average Worker a 2.4% pay cut last year. Now, I'm just going to quickly read some of the key points before I get into why this might be the case. Obviously, inflation is a big reason for that, but I'm gonna give it a different perspective of why, one factor that's probably causing that. So some of the key points are inflation grew. So it says average hourly wages also increased 4.7%, but inflation grew 7% in December from a year earlier. That amounts to a pay cut of about 2% on average. However, the experience for workers will differ widely based on their job and what they buy. Now, coming from a business owner, now I don't have any employees, but one thing about business, what I've learned about business is you got to have a budget. Now, for a lot of businesses that carry employees, salary is obviously a big part of, their budget. So, obviously last year, a lot of people got a lot of wage increases, and, there was a fight for increasing minimum wage. But what people don't understand, people especially that haven't started a business, that these businesses have budgets. Now, big businesses like Amazon, Walmart, all these big businesses can handle wage increases, but some of the smaller businesses may struggle with that. Like I said, they have a budget. So if you increase the wages for people, their budget doesn't change. So if you take a smaller business that, let's say they staff like 10 people, now you're increasing the minimum wage for, a lot of those staffs. Now instead, they're going to do one of two things or both. So they're either going to, reduce the amount of staff that they have because of that wage increase, or they're going to increase the cost of products and services. So that's the only thing they can do, because remember, they have a budget. They have a set budget regardless of how much increases. They have to maintain that same budget because obviously they're trying to stay in business. So a lot of people don't understand that. They just think, oh, I'm not making enough. I'm not able to live with the money that I have. So they think everybody needs an increase in wages, which is fine, but it's not as simple. It's not as easy to do. Now, if you're someone that has the skills and you can go get another job that's going to pay more, you should do that. But not every business is going to handle that. Like I said, if you increase the minimum wage, the budget stays the same. A small business that doesn't generate a lot of revenue, going to do one of two things or both. They're going to either cut staff or they're going to increase the prices of products and services. And I think that's one of the things that's probably attributing to the inflation, along with other things as well. But I think that's one of the contributing factors for why so many things cost more. Right. So to get into this article. So here it says the consumer price index, a key inflation measure, jumped 7% in December from a year ago, the fastest rate since June 1982. The U.S. Department of Labor said Wednesday. The index accounts for costs across many goods and services, from alcohol to fruit, airfare, firewood, hospital services, and musical instruments. On average, a consumer who paid $100 a year ago would pay $107 today. The average pay also jumped significantly in 2021 to more than $31 an hour, a 4.7 annual increase, the Labor Department reported. Despite the pay bump, higher consumer prices ate into household budgets. In effect, the average worker got a 2.4% pay cut last year, according to seasonal adjusted data published by the Labor Department. And what was the best year for wage growth that we have seen in many, many years, it still comes up as a loss for many households, said Greg McBride, chief financial analyst for Bankrate. Their expenses increase even faster and chewed up all the benefits of whatever pay raise they have seen. So let me explain that. So even though you get that pay raise, right? One thing, like I said, the cost of goods and services also increased. So let's say, so a lot of people focus on the wage increase, but what matters most is your purchasing power, and that's what inflation destroys. So let's say you have $1, right, and that dollar could buy like 5 apples. Now, because of inflation, that dollar now can only buy 3 apples. So even though you got an increase in your pay, your purchasing power has decreased. So you're like saying, oh man, I made $15 now. I used to make $11 an hour. Now I'm making 15. I can buy more things. And then when you go to buy certain things, you're like, man, this is kind of expensive. It's like, how come I made all this money, but yet I still don't have money? That's because not only has your wage increased, but also cost of goods and services. So you're really not making that much. You're not really able to purchase a thing. Like I said, $1 used to buy you 5 apples. Now that $1, that same $1 can only buy you 3 apples. And people don't notice that until they start consuming goods and services and you see that things cost more. So that $15 you make now is going to be like, oh, now I need to make like $20 an hour. But Like I said, once that goes up, the consumer, the prices of costs and services also go up. So that $20 doesn't mean anything. So people need to understand that when these are how business runs. Like these are how businesses run. Like they have a budget. Now they also have to make a profit. So if you're going to increase their salary, they're going to have to cut people, or they're going to have to increase the price of the product and services. And that's why you see so many things costing more than they did a year ago. And of course, like I said, there's other factors that are contributing to that. Now, to continue, now it says price gains have occurred across a broad swath of goods, but the increases aren't equally distributed. Americans who use public transit may have dodged some of this year's biggest jumps in costs. In gasoline and used cars and trucks, for example, they jumped 50% and 37% respectively. Staples like rent and groceries are harder to avoid. Their costs were up 3.3% and 6.5% on the year, respectively. Consumers may change buying behavior to reduce their budget, perhaps substituting chicken or fish for beef, which jumped 19%, for instance. An increase in annual rent may prove longer lasting than in other areas, according to economists. Even a small increase in percentage terms can quickly erode any paycheck gains for lower earning renters, McBride said. It's unclear how long inflation or wage gains will last. Many economists believe both will start to taper in 2022 if supply bottlenecks ease, helping to reduce prices and virus wane, increasing the supply of workers. So like you said, so they said wages increased by 4.3%, but when inflation is going up by 7%, that's how people are getting that pay cut. Your wage has to keep up with inflation or exceed that. That's not what's going on. People are getting wage increases, but inflation is going up even higher. Therefore, when you're going to the grocery stores, you're buying gas, your money is buying less of what it used to buy. So I know a lot of people are like, oh man, I made a lot of money, but I'm pretty sure everyone's feeling the effects of that when they're going to purchase goods and services. So that's the thing. Like I know a lot of people like to fight for the higher wage, and you should get that, but when you're forcing that, when you have government saying they have to force the wage increase, that's going to, there's going to be ripple effects to that. Things are going to have to increase, like the cost of goods and services. So you need to understand that. So, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. They just think that, these companies, these businesses are greedy. But remember, everyone is trying to make a profit. Everybody's trying to make money. People got to feed their families. And obviously these big corporations, they can handle that increase. They can handle that with no problem. But these smaller companies, it's going to be tough. And when you see a wage increase at 4% and then inflation going higher than that, you're making less money on your dollar. So that's all I got for today. I hope that provided some insight. If you like what you heard, make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, so you guys take care and have a good one. Later.